All right, everybody, we're back in here with another episode of Keeping Up with Spring Garden Athletics. I got two very special young ladies in here, and I'm going to let these young ladies introduce themselves at this time.
My name is Maggie Jarrett. I'm a junior, and I catch for Spring Garden.
My name is Avery Steard, and I'm a pitcher from Spring Garden, and I'm a junior.
All right, so we're going to start with Maggie right here. First of all, you guys, being a pitcher and a catcher, obviously have to have a good relationship. How much do you guys work off season to prepare for these moments? Like you guys have just now hit, the season started now, and you didn't know how many wins you knew, but you knew exactly how many losses you have. But you guys have to have a chemistry like nobody else on the team. Can y'all talk about that?
Well, me and Avery, we've always been really close. So, we all play other sports together, and we're close to that. You got to have the same amount of chemistry with that. So it just flows into softball. And being a pitcher and catcher, you just got to be on the same wavelength. I think me and Avery are.
Like she said, playing other sports with each other really helps, build our connection together, and we've been friends since
Since I first
second
moved
grade.
here.
Yeah. So we've always been around each other, and we just have a really good relationship, and we trust each other a lot.
Avery, how much time do you get in between starts, or do you pitch constantly, or how does that look for you?
Usually it kind of depends on how many games we have that week, or if we're playing a tournament that weekend. Usually I pitch about two. Well, if we have a tournament, it's usually more than 2 games.
Gotcha.
We usually it's like 2 or so.
She pitches about 80% of the time.
80% of the time? Yeah, because in softball, you guys can go just whenever. That's different baseball.
Yeah.
Do you get fatigued, like if you pitch multiple times in a week?
Sometimes. I mean, I get a little sore every now and then, but once I start pitching again, it usually goes away.
Gotcha.
Again.
Same question for you, Maggie, but in a different tone. Catching's not easy either. To me, it's the toughest sport in softball or baseball because, it's grueling on your knees, and your back as well, and it's hot. You got to wear the equipment, especially as the hotter it gets, the worse it is on you. You catch all the time, or do y'all have somebody relieve you as well?
We do, but she's kind of younger, but she don't really catch in games. So I mainly catch the whole time, every game.
How do you stay fresh? Because you're just like a lot of girls. I think both of you girls play all 3 of the major sports here. So how do you re-energize? Because you guys only get 2 weeks off, in the summer, if that.
Something like that. Because when we do summer workouts, we go in June. We do June and July. We have our summer workouts, and then in June we'll do our basketball in June, and we do volleyball in July. And then me and Avery are playing travel ball on the Saturdays we don't play. So it helps us get better and prepare for the next season. And with catching, I don't really get burnt out because I like playing it. So when I work out, I do the workouts that I need to better myself in that position.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So you girls both have just witnessed a volleyball championship and a basketball championship back to back in these last 2 sports, girls' major sports in 1A here in the ASHA. Do y'all feel the pressure to win it in softball now? Have y'all talked about it, or do y'all just keep it day by day?
We kind of just go with the flow. There is a little bit of pressure. We want to in these 2 sports, let's do it, let's go 3 all the way. But I don't mean this rude on our team, but we're not expected to win state. But if we do, that's an upset, and that would just be an amazing feeling.
Awesome.
Yeah, we kind of just take things one day at a time and just kind of take it 1 game at a time and just get better about 1% each day.
Now, you guys obviously do everything together. It's not just sports. Y'all work out. I'm sure y'all hang out outside. What is y'all's relationship like outside of school, outside of working out and stuff like that?
Well, we usually give each other a hard time a lot. But
cracking jokes and
yeah.
stuff?
Joke around a lot. Went to the store together last night.
Gotcha.
Get some brownies.
Hey, that's here in Spring Garden, that's not easy. It's a little drive. Where do y'all go, Piedmont?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, what do y'all do for relaxation outside of sports when y'all are just chilling at home? Or do y'all go out somewhere?
I like to go to Target.
Target, Oxford?
Yeah.
Is that where you go? Gotcha. How far is that from here?
About 35 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe 40 minutes.
You go through Jacksonville, hit the bypass?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you?
Okay. All right. So we're going the same one. I didn't know if y'all knew some other secret. So what about you, outside of?
Me and Avery's pretty close. This ain't really outside of school, but every day after we work out, sometimes softball doesn't do the agilities. So me and Avery will go out to the track and run together. to make sure that we get better each day. And our relationship is really close outside of school. I mean, we'll go eat sometimes. I'll go to Walmart. She goes to Target. It's okay. But our relationship is really close out of school.
How do you guys differentiate between the sports? I mean, the time is the thing that, and I asked the guys this the other day, like they play all three, the ones that play all three. How do you guys differentiate your time? Because you can't just be all basketball. You can't just be all volleyball. You can't just be all softball. You have to do a little bit of each, even in the off season, correct?
Correct. And like, say we're in a season, like say we're in basketball season and we just did, I try to get in the cage and start throwing as soon as I can. So when I first get out there, I'm not just completely stiff and it's not gonna like pull anything and hurt. And I always try to stay in shape no matter the season. So when I change, it's a lot easier on your body.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have to start like throwing and pitching and stuff just a little bit like during basketball season because we usually have
A day or two.
a day or two for the county tournament, and so we only have like 1 day of practice because one of those days might get rained out. So
That's what happened this year.
yeah,
Wait a minute. Did you just say y'all had a day or two till when y'all got back from Birmingham? You only had like a couple of
We
days?
came back, what, Saturday, Friday?
yeah, we came back Saturday and we played on
Thursday. And we practiced Monday.
Had y'all been in the cage hitting or?
We practiced Monday, and then
Tuesday
Tuesday
got
was
rain.
rain,
Yeah,
so
it was
we
like
were in the cage.
bad.
And Wednesday we just kind of went over stuff because we were so sore.
Wow.
Because that Monday we did like a pretty intense practice.
Oh, yeah.
We had to get our chemistry going a little bit.
Yeah.
The county tournament, I mean, we were together, but it ain't like now how we are.
Oh,
how
yeah.
We grew together and bonded over our practices. It was a little rough, but I mean, we did what we could, and ever since the county, I think we've improved so much, and our chemistry has came together a bunch and well.
Good. Now, next question is, each one of you guys answer this. What have y'all learned about this particular team since the season started? I mean, each team has its own identity. I got to hear this.
About this team, we are such hardworking, and we have each other's back. Say like someone gets a hard hit ground ball and they mess up, we always had their back to make sure it's okay. Put that in the past and move forward and get the next one and get the next out. Because having each other's backs in sport is a big thing. Because like if you don't have each other's back, it's not gonna go well on the field. Or when you're batting, because like when you're batting, you want to have the trust of your teammates to come up behind you and get a good hit after you got a good hit, so you can move them to work together to score.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like she said, trust is like a really big part of like being together on the field, and so I think this group is like, we play together for a long time, and so like we all trust each other, and we have like a really good chemistry like outside of softball, and we just hold each other accountable like for like what you do like outside of softball, like what you do and like at school and stuff like that, like at workouts.
Yeah, doing the right thing all the time. Last question, hand and eye coordination's huge in softball. To me, it's the biggest thing, and it's also the hardest to get in rhythm with. Like you can get your shot back, and you can go up and spike a ball or set one easy in volleyball, a lot easier than you can hit a softball. It's coming at you 60 miles an hour, whatever the case may be. Talk about that. Have you guys gotten in a rhythm yet, both of you, like from a hitting standpoint?
I mean, it's kind of came back, but it's definitely like not as good as I want it to be, so I'm still working on it.
Like when you guys were at state last year, y'all were smacking the ball around.
Yeah, like she said, like it's there, but it's not fully there enough to where we're satisfied. So every day when we're batting or hitting off the tee, we try to focus on getting that rhythm back to where it was last year, so we can hit the ball as good as we did.
Well, you ladies got sized up for your rings yet?
Yesterday, right?
Both of them, or just one of them?
Well,
Basketball was
yeah, we got
yesterday.
our volleyball one size earlier this year, and then we got our basketball one size yesterday.
Are y'all gonna deliver them on the same day, or?
I don't
have
think
none.
basketball comes in until
Usually
like
it's
the next
sixty.
year.
It'll be, yeah, didn't y'all get them during a football game this year or something?
Yeah, we'll
That's
probably
what-
get our basketball, and I think we'll get our volleyball one by the end of this year. But
Yeah.
I'm really have no clue.
That'd be awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you sitting in with us. I try to keep this thing under 10 minutes because I know y'all got workouts. Appreciate you guys. I'll be out. I'm trying to get out and get one of our photographers out to shoot one of your games as well. Just let me know. Maggie, or one of y'all shoot me a schedule. Thank you, guys. All right, everybody, welcome back in to another edition of Keeping Up with Spring Garden Athletics. We're here with Coach Murphy. And Coach, we talked last week extensively. We got caught up on a few weeks that we had to miss due to me being in Birmingham. It seemed like an endless amount of time in Jacksonville for the tournament. But We got to catch up on a lot of things last week, and since then, you went on over into area play or region play. I don't know which one you can call it. I've heard coaches call it both ways. But
Yeah.
teams in your area.
Yeah.
You guys went 2-1 last week. The guys talked about they had a loss, but they learned from their mistake, kind of like they did earlier this season when they were down 8-0 and come back just like that. And so that's good. I mean, that's the guys is a self-motivated team. They're all getting the things right. But what was it you seen from the guys that sparked them after that loss, where they come together and then obviously start playing a lot better baseball?
I mean, the biggest thing is just them showing up and doing their job, each individual, whether you're a relief pitcher, you're starting at shortstop. Everybody came, did their job. I feel like we didn't respect our opponent the way they needed to be respected Tuesday, and we kind of overlooked them. And us beating Gillsville in the county tournament, I told the boys that they had to be ready because they were going to come out knowing that Beatty's a good pitcher. It was going to be difficult to win, and then us not having the right attitude going into the game, kicked the ball around a lot, did not hit the ball well except for one inning. And then the kid I started on the mound struggled at the beginning, and you mix a kid not pitching his best with then you're not hitting the ball and scoring runs.
You're
to
not
help
playing
them
your
out.
A game overall.
Yeah, so we just didn't do a good job, and just the difference was, everybody was bought in, they were focused, and just did their job. And because we still made a lot of mistakes last night, and we're nowhere near where we need to be at to compete, in the rest of the area. And then if we, do what we need to in the area in the playoffs, we've got a long way to go. But it was nice seeing them come back out and giving the effort that they were giving and staying focused for both games.
I talked about this with the guys. You guys have a special setup out here. Don't matter what the sport is, you guys have an alpha male that teaches things the right way, godly men that's leading these teams out here, whether it be Coach Hatch, Coach Ragsdale, yourself, Coach Rat. I can just go on and on about who you guys have out here. What's that like from a standpoint of those are your peers? Those are the guys that's helping, leading these men. The message is the same. The sport's different, but the message is the same. The weight room's the same. What's that like being inside that circle?
It's about for me, being on a good team. You're going to compete with your teammates, and if you are competing with your teammates, not in a selfish manner, but in a way that you're getting better. You're just the whole team's going to get better. And it's the same way here. Coach Rat is Hall of Fame coach, or will be. He's a great coach, and he does everything the way he does is, it allows him to have success the way he's had success here. And so having that, it's a little bit of a kind of, I kind of hold myself to a higher standard because I'm that's who he is. I want to be up there. I want to be able to make my kids compete the way he can get his kids to compete. And especially when you lose a big game like that, having to bounce back. How you're going to handle that? How are you going to handle the team and the discipline stuff from not playing the way you need to? And it just kind of motivates me and kind of pushes me to be more on top of what I need
Iron
to.
sharpens iron in the coach's world too. Mm-hmm. I like it, man. That makes a lot of sense the way you put it like that, though. And then with you guys, the players talked about this as well. If you guys didn't show up to the weight room, no coaches is in there, those guys are still going to go in there and compete. And this ain't a game. This is just them at the weight room. Yeah. What's it like coaching kids like that in this modern era? I call it the TikTok era, where that's not the case in a whole lot of places I go into.
Oh, yeah. It makes it a lot easier. Knowing that most days, and they're still kids, and they still have their off days just like everybody else does. But knowing that that's who they are and that's how they think and work, it kind of, allows you to, you don't have to be physically and 100% mentally right there into it. You can be, hey, I'm in here and I'm doing weights, but at the same time I can be mentally preparing myself for the game or practice or whatever we're doing. And you don't have to really worry about, are they doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Makes
because
sense.
you know that, you have a couple guys in there or you have a couple girls in there that are going to make sure that things are going to get done the way they're supposed to be done. And that's a really big thing that makes it enjoyable to coach here, and I think that's a big advantage that we have.
Yeah, you even got girls that'll hold some of the guys accountable here.
Yeah.
No doubt. We had two of them up here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different world out here. It's fun to see from the outside and what I do, because Believe me when I tell you, I've been in some places that's polar opposites of this, and I've been in some places that's similar but not close. But there's only 1 or 2 schools that do it like you guys do and the level that you guys do across the board. There may be 1 or 2 sports that do it, but to see it across the board is something very special. We're coming up on the halfway point of the season here, Coach. What's your biggest concerns right now, and then what can you pretty much hang your hat on and say, okay, we're doing pretty good at this, but I've really got to focus on this.
The biggest thing is just what worries me the most is our inconsistency.
Gotcha.
Like we'll get into a game and we'll play a really good game. Like last night we played 2 really good games, but we were still inconsistent throughout the game. Like we would go out there and make a great play and then mess up a routine play, or we would have a great at bat. Whether we get out or not, you have a 6, 7, 8, 10 pitch at bat, you're fouling off balls, seeing pitches, like you're doing a good job.
Got that right.
You're running that pitch count up, you're getting to see a lot of pitches. The guy on deck, the guy in the hole, they're getting to see more and more pitches. But then we have that, and you turn around and it's a 0-2 count, and we swing at something in the dirt. So we still, are inconsistent at times, and that's what worries me the most is because if we can get there, which this week showed that we want to, the way we rebounded from Tuesday to last night, it shows that we want to do it. And if we can get where we're consistent, we'll be fine. Pitching, same thing. We're inconsistent right now, inconsistent all the way around the board. And if we can just get that fixed, especially, and we got to get it fixed really before we come back from spring break, because we open up that week with Donahoe on Monday, and then we have our Coosa series. So we got Tuesday and Thursday with Coosa. And we really need to get that inconsistent stuff out between, now and then.
Absolutely. Spring break wise, what does scheduling look like that week?
So,
are you giving the guys some days off that week?
Oh yeah, I always do. I always give them like half of the week, whether it's the first half or second half. The last 2 years I gave the last half, and this year I wanted to do different because I felt like we didn't do a good job against Coosa last year, and I felt like some of that might have been my fault playing at the beginning of the spring break and giving the end off. So we were supposed to play today, but it's got rained out. And then we'll be off the first half of the week. And then we come back, we'll have a long practice Thursday, and then we go up to Dora for a 3-way versus Dora and Hansville on Friday. And then Monday we open up with Donahoe. And then that week, I'm pretty sure it's Donahoe, Coosa Tuesday and Thursday, and then Mountain Brook on Friday.
That's right. We talked about that. That's it's gonna be something special. I actually just watched their soccer team the other day. Played Southside. And anytime Mountain Brook shows up in anything, you got to be ready to go.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what it is. They're playing chess. You better be ready to play chess.
Yes.
And no different in baseball, football, basketball. Don't matter what it is. That's a good challenge for you guys. But coming into spring break, how do you keep the guys dialed in by giving them a half a week off? I know it's not going to be as much problem here as where at some schools where they'd be just going crazy, but here, you probably a little tweak or something here or there.
Yeah, like the biggest thing is like we talked about last week, they come in, you start off the school year, with which you already had a full summer because of the amount of ball you play, basketball, baseball, straight into football.
Play dates and OTAs.
Oh yeah, they're covered up the whole summer. And so you come in, you got football season. Typically we're making it, a few rounds in the playoffs in football. Then that's on Friday, and then on Sunday they're in the gym. Like they're in there, and whether it's required or not, that's where they're in the gym.
They're in the gym.
Yeah, and so they're straight into basketball, and then you're looking at going to regionals.
Elite Eight.
Yeah, going to the Elite Eight, and then you're going straight into baseball. And so the biggest reason I give that half a week off is because baseball's a super long. It's spread out over months. And if I don't give them that break, I in my experience, not just not here because I haven't done it here, but when I've been assistant coaches at other schools, when you try to play a lot over spring break, you just lose them.
You burn them.
Yeah, you burn them, and it's just hard sometimes. Sometimes the kids are fine, sometimes you're not, and I just would much rather give them a break, let them chill out, be kids for half a week, and then kick it back up. And as far as getting them ready, it's pretty easy. You just first practice, come back, first thing to do, jump on them, chew them, make them run for a minute, and let them remember, hey, we're out here playing baseball. We'll go
pole to pole, guy. Pole to pole.
Come back and get back into it mentally. So that's pretty much how I handle it.
That's good.
And then going to Dora, it was a new game I picked up. But I think that'll be pretty good for us. We're going to get to see some good pitching, which we'll need going into that next week.
Yeah, this is a talent-rich area of the state, Dory as well. So, yeah, everybody on your schedule is pretty good at baseball. I mean, has been all year and will be for the remainder of the year. But that's what gets you ready for these area games, and here the final thought is you want to be playing your best baseball down the stretch, and I know that's what you're dialing into. Final question is, from a coaching standpoint, how do you make that happen? I mean, how do you get you guys to dial in, get the spring break past you, get these all important series? The most important thing is coming up is going to be the Coosa series. I mean, every game's important or they wouldn't keep score, but that one's of the utmost importance.
Oh yeah, the biggest thing moving in towards us peaking is really like figuring out what is going to be the problem that gets us beat.
Gotcha.
Like what is going to be the thing that,
Find out your weaknesses.
yeah, and
Like
you
that.
know, like right now, like you said, it's the first half of the season. Me and Coach Greg will sit down, get together, and we'll figure out what we think the biggest weaknesses are, and then over spring break, that's what we'll work on getting those out for the Coosa series, and then after the Coosa series, we'll do the same thing again going into the Cedar Bluff series, and I think that's the biggest thing. But also, last year, I think I overdid some of the things we were struggling on because it just continued happening, and I think I made it too big of a point. I think
Gotcha.
then they started focusing too much, and then when I stopped focusing on it and talking about it, it got better. And I
Gotcha.
think that's going to be the biggest thing for me is making sure I don't overdo it again this year.
Like hypersensitive to whatever the problem is. That makes sense. It kind of puts a magnifying glass on it, so to speak,
Yeah.
if you keep talking about it. It makes sense. Then they start getting hyper-focused, and then they lose focus on other things. Makes sense, Coach. Coach, I'm going to let you get out of here. I know you got weight room and a ton of other things to do, even though you're rained out today. You guys are always busy here. Appreciate you sitting in, and God willing, we'll be back here next week for another episode.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, welcome back into another edition of Keeping Up with Spring Garden Athletics. I have two very special gentlemen in here, and I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time.
I'm Carson Bostic, a junior.
My name is Zane Edwards, and I'm a sophomore.
All right, we'll start right back over here. Now, guys, you're not halfway through the season, but you're a good portion into the season. How's your season going so far?
We started off on a good foot in the county tournament. We short is a good way to put it. We came up pretty short. We thought we had them. We
Yeah.
thought we'd finish that, come out on top of the county tournament, and start off pretty strong. Ended up losing last game of the county tournament. And since then, it's just been a little chip on our shoulder to do better the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Same question for you.
Just like what he said, I mean, we just gotta have fire. We ain't getting hot for anything right now. Last night was pretty hot, but we gotta get our six going and play ball.
You guys, both of you answer this as well. Now, you guys always in sports, and we talked about this last week with Chapel and Bates, but you guys always make deep runs into playoffs in football and basketball and baseball. It's like no stranger to you guys. How much does that affect the overall team? Like, you don't get your guys out here to 2 and 3 and 4 weeks after most other baseball teams that y'all play do. From a standpoint of you guys, I mean, how much do y'all think that affects this team?
I don't think it affects us none. We all play ball pretty well.
Gotcha.
Most of us play travel ball. I mean, we're used to playing ball all year round and working hard and being in the weight room and everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't play basketball, but he does. And I mean, even with him and the rest of the basketball players that don't play, in the off time, they're down there at the baseball field hitting. They're not up there just messing around. They're coming down and putting in work too.
That's right. Serious work. Spring garden work and other places work is two different stories. And I've seen it firsthand. What's it like playing here at Spring Garden? Because there's a certain standard. Like, y'all don't get away with mediocrity here. You guys have to perform on a high level, or your own teammates will hold you accountable.
Yeah, I came from Piedmont. I moved here my 9th grade year, and I learned a lot since then. This is a team that's, in every sport, you have a standard to hold up since pretty much a couple of years ago. And you can't just put that to the side. You can't come up and just think you're a new team, it's a new program. You still got to come forward with what past people put forward for us.
I played for many teams, different everything. So, I mean, it's different. I moved from a school when I was younger, and you had to get on the kids every day. You had to be a leader. I mean, there's tons of leaders here at Spring Garden. Like, it's crazy. I've never done this in my life. Just how much leadership and the standard you have to be at. You have to give it 110%. Every practice, like, you gotta just put in work.
Yeah, because here you don't have to go make kids go to the weight room. Y'all are down there waiting on coaches to arrive and getting after it. Talk about that a little bit, how you guys are driven here. You don't have to have a bunch of motivation from coaches.
Like when people say, "Hey, we gotta go work out," I mean, everybody gets in the weight room, working out hard. People are up here all the time at night, doing whatever they have to do to get bigger and stronger.
Y'all don't even need coaches for that. I mean, y'all do it on your own a lot, right?
Yes, sir. We do a lot.
Yeah, we the older kids in our school definitely keep it.
Like Chapel and those
keep
guys.
it going. Chapel, even Connor in our grade,
Mm-hmm.
he's very well about keeping everybody up, doing their job. We have leaders. That's a good way to put it. I mean, every year, next group steps up and learns how the group before them responded, and it's not going to fall off anymore from now until I'm gone.
That's right. No, I like it. Y'all gonna hold the rest of them accountable.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Now, baseball to me always it's a double-edged sword. It's always exciting when it starts, but it also lets us know that we're close to the end of the year. So each day is precious from here on out, like in baseball season. But it's never more important than it is in area of play. We all are over in that now. You went 2-1 last week in all important games. But talk about area, region play, whatever you like to call it, how it's more important. I mean, you can't take days off no more.
Oh no, it's definitely more important. We came out this week, lost the first game, and knowing that if we didn't win those next 2 games, it'd be a lot harder to go anywhere this year. I mean, even that game just changed our mentality. We could tell we weren't giving enough, and from here on out, it's going to be a whole different story the rest of the season.
Like he said, I mean, we was thinking Gillsville. Gillsville's changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're going to be
Yeah.
competitive.
Every
from now
sport,
on.
really.
And you have to respect everybody from here on out, and you got to do your job and do what you have to do. And like get in the cage.
That's right.
And we can't have kids just not hitting the ball. Everybody's got to be hitting and doing their job and making plays.
No days off.
No days off.
Hey, you guys came back from an 8-0 victory earlier this year. What was it in that game that sparked you guys? And what was it after this loss that sparked you guys? Was it that same kind of feeling that we're not producing, we're not giving what we got? Can y'all talk about that?
Waco, it was crazy. I knew I came up, and I think Chapel and Connor got on, and Clayton got on, or 2 people got on in front of me, and I'm in 5-hole, and I just knew I had to do something. So, I mean, I hit a home run.
I remember, yeah, it was a 3-run job,
It just
wasn't it?
helped us out, and it got everybody going.
Love
Carson
it.
came in and pitched a great game.
Love
It was just crazy.
That was a spark you guys needed at that
So-
time.
And then everybody just started getting their seats going, and Carson just did an unbelievable job. He did great.
Yeah, we have a team. Everybody on the team's trying to be a starting player or a piece to the team. Even if they're in 7th, 8th grade, not even playing on high school yet, they want to be a part of it. And we noticed early on we weren't holding up the standard we were supposed to, especially down in that game. We just turned it up since then, and we've set the fire. We ain't gonna slow down now.
Love it. What did you guys learn from Coach Murphy? Not just in the baseball aspect, but things you can carry over into your day-to-day lives.
Oh, he's probably the best coach I've ever had with an age standpoint. He understands us and understands where we're coming from because he just came out of it all. He knows what it's like and knows what we are and are not supposed to do, and keeping a standard of not just on the field but off the field, keeping a good head on our shoulders and not doing anything out of inappropriate or anything. We've kept good about that since he came through, and they have kept good about it in the past years too.
Yeah, he's a younger dude. He's more in tune. You can't pull no wool over him,
Oh,
so to
no.
speak.
You just gotta. He keeps us in line. He's the coach that everyone needs in their program.
Yeah,
I mean, every coach here is like that, but he's taught us to be grown men.
that's right.
He's taught us to grow up, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yep. I mean, him, Coach Hatch, him, Coach Ragsdale, those are really good mentors. I mean, you guys are blessed to have those kind of guys out here. Coach Hatch, that guy coming here, and it's like he lived here his whole life. He's only been here a couple of years, And then, I mean, you got Ragsdale, and I mean, you just got some really good coaches out here. I mean, this is unbelievable what you guys have out here. Before I let you two guys out of here, just individually, what do you two guys individually have to do down the stretch to make sure this team's playing their best baseball at the end of the year?
I got to help with leadership, and we got to keep everybody together and play ball. I got to do my part and be strong in the field and let everybody know what situation's going on and keep everybody alert in the field and just help everybody strive to get better.
That's right. Like it.
We all have the same job. No one's different. We all have to do the same thing, win the rest of these games this year.
Yep.
That's all that matters to us right now.
I love it. Guys, I appreciate you guys sitting in with us. We're going to have this episode up in a day or two. And, hey, good luck to you guys the rest of the year. Thank you.